evening, sisters and brothers from Canada. Unifor represents 315,000 members. We build cars, we build planes, we fish. We represent workers from coast to coast, and we are here to stand with you in solidarity. Unifor has worked for years in partnership with your independent unions. We are grateful for our bonds of solidarity and the shared commitment of our issues in Canada and Mexico.
Let me thank you for having the opportunity to speak with you today, standing shoulder and shoulder in solidarity, because workers' struggles are not defined by borders. We all want the same thing. We want better wages, we want better working conditions, we want secure jobs. We want fairness from our employers, we want fairness from the government, and we want fairness from the trade deals that hurt all of us. We will all stand together because the corporations only care about their profits. They don't care about us. They take more and more and more, and we have less and less and less. They're driving down the standards of workers in Canada, the United States, and in Mexico. So our strength has to be our unity, through free collective bargaining, through justice. The promise of NAFTA, that it would improve the standard of living for workers in all three countries. That was a lie. They lied to us all. The reality is that a lot of the jobs, the manufacturing jobs came to Mexico, but the workers are worse off today than even before NAFTA was signed. They try to exploit workers. They pit workers against workers in each of our three countries, and for a race to the bottom. The Mexican workers that work in your auto plants can't afford to buy the cars that you build, and that is an absolute disgrace. If a worker in Canada and the United States makes $35 an hour, why shouldn't a Mexican worker make 525 pesos an hour? We all work just as hard. We all have families to raise. We all deserve the same amount of money. We deserve the same amount of respect. It doesn't matter which border we live on. We all deserve the same respect. It's time that all three countries sign on to all 8 ILO labor standards. So far, America's only signed 2. Mexico has signed 7. But signing alone isn't enough. We have to make sure that the labor standards are implemented. We have to make sure they're monitored and enforced in our nations across our countries. Canadian and American workers know that our fight is not with Mexican workers. Our collective fight is with the governments, the international corporations, and the right-to-work states of the United States. The yellow unions here in Mexico that sign so-called protection agreements that suppress our rights to earn a living wage through free collective bargaining. NAFTA has hurt workers in all three countries, and it's now time for us to work together, because it's our time to fix the wrongs of the past. NAFTA must be about a progressive workers' agenda. It must be about raising wages for Mexican workers. It must be about discussions of the laws in the United States and Canada that restrict free collective bargaining. We must demonstrate our collective power of workers and send a message to all governments that the time of siding with big business and the quest for more profits cannot be at the expense of workers in Mexico and Canada. It'll never be borne off our backs. If the agreement negotiated in Mexico City does not contain justice and fair wages for all, then our governments need to have the courage to walk away, because a bad deal is worse than no deal at all. Working with unions across North America, we are here to demand that our governments stop negotiating deals that makes it too easy to drive down wages and working conditions in our country. We will not allow them to continue to divide us. We know that workers need from these deals, and we're going to make sure that they damn well listen to it. Donald Trump talks about building a wall. We do not want a wall, we want a bridge. one that will support us all, because we want real change, and Unifor is here with all of you to join with you to demand for social and economic justice for all. Gracias!